I am 84 years old, long enough to watch entire generations run in circles, long enough to see people spend 40 years climbing a ladder, only to discover it was leaning against the wrong wall. When you reach my age, something uncomfortable becomes obvious. Most people are working incredibly hard to win a game that doesn't matter. And the strange part is that no one questions the game. You're born. You go to school. You're told to get good grades so you can get a good job. You're told to save money, buy a house, build a career, collect the respectable milestones. And if you do all of that successfully, people will look at you and say, "Congratulations, you made it." But here's the truth I didn't understand until very late in my life. Making it and becoming yourself are often two completely different things. And sometimes they are opposites. Let me tell you about a man named Thomas. Thomas was the definition of successful. I met him in the early 1980s when we both worked in the same office building downtown. Sharp suits, perfect hair, impressive title. By the time he was 40, he had everything people dream about. Corner office, luxury car, beautiful house in the suburbs, 2 children in private school. If you looked at Thomas from the outside, you would think he had solved life. But there was something about him that always felt tight, like a man wearing a suit 2 sizes too small. One evening, we were sitting together after work, looking out over the city lights from the office window. Thomas had just been promoted again. Everyone was celebrating him. But when the room emptied and it was just the two of us, he said something strange. He looked at the skyline and said, "Walter, do you ever feel like this isn't actually your life?" I laughed at the time. I thought he was being dramatic. But he continued, "I've done everything right, every step, every goal, every promotion. But the strange thing is, I feel exactly the same as I did 10 years ago, maybe worse." He paused and said something I never forgot. "It feels like I'm succeeding in someone else's story." At the time, I didn't understand what he meant, because I was doing the exact same thing. We were both following the script we had been handed. Work harder, earn more, climb higher, repeat. And the strange thing about that script is that it works. You do get rewards, money increases, titles improve, people respect you, but something else quietly disappears while all that is happening. Your curiosity, your risk, your willingness to change. Without noticing it, success slowly begins to lock you in place, and the life that once felt like exploration begins to feel like maintenance. There's a dangerous illusion about comfort. People think comfort is the destination, but comfort is very often where growth dies. I've seen it happen to brilliant people. At 25, they were fearless. They moved cities, started projects, took risks. They were alive. Then something changes. They get a stable job, a stable routine. I remember seeing Thomas again about 15 years later. We ran into each other by accident at a small coffee shop. His hair had gone gray. He was still well-dressed, still successful, but the energy he once had was gone. We talked for a while. Eventually, he admitted something quietly. "I built a very comfortable life," he said, "but I don't think I built my life." That sentence stayed with me because it reveals something most people never question. The goals you're chasing right now, who gave them to you? Did you actually choose them? Or did you simply inherit them? Most people spend their lives chasing visible success, things other people can recognize, money, status, recognition, awards. But the problem with visible success is that it often comes at the expense of internal expansion. You become excellent at performing the role expected of you, but slowly you forget how to explore who you could become. Your life becomes a series of achievements rather than a process of transformation. And achievements are strangely addictive. Every milestone feels like progress. But milestones are not the same thing as growth. Sometimes they are simply markers that say, "You stayed on the road." Let me tell you something uncomfortable. The world rewards predictability, not evolution. If you follow the script correctly, society will reward you. But evolution requires something very different. It requires stepping away from the script entirely. And that is frightening, because the moment you stop measuring your life with external metrics, you enter the unstable identity. And suddenly, the very life they worked so hard to build becomes something they are afraid to disrupt. The mortgage needs paying. The reputation must be protected. The expectations must be maintained, so the risks stop. And when the risks stop, so does the